giving you the best of broadcasting 24 hours. Agidigbo 88.7 FM, the people's voice. This is Kunle Amzat Studio, Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Welcome to the Dailies.
Of course, it is another morning to come do what we know how to do best, and that is for us to discuss Nigeria and what is going on around us, because we need to know, and aside from knowing, we need to understand better. That is why we do the analysis of the stories making the rounds day in, day out, every weekday, right here in the Koleamzat studio. A very good morning to you, and you're welcome to Akidigwe 88.7 FM Ibadan. My name is Wuraola Yusuff. And yes, we'll be going through the front pages before we then move straight into the analysis of the stories. The Punch newspaper this morning. Let me just call this the Star News, which says emergency rule, winners, losers, as Tinubu reinstates Fubara. Three riders there. One says president justifies action as over 40 court cases pending. Cautions governors on good governance. Wike Rivers will henceforth witness peace, progress. The last rider says 6 months wasted. Rivers elders lament. On page 7, NECO probes a mass cheating in 13 states. On page 18, UK-Nigeria bilateral trade hits a 16 trillion naira. That is coming from a British envoy on page 18 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Cash transfer. Federal government pays 330 billion naira to 8.1 million households. Still on page 23, federal government, states, local governments shared 2.2 trillion naira August revenue. All right, the federal government returns the history to basic school curriculum. Page 19 has the details of that one. Federal government votes 300 billion naira to power teaching hospitals, varsities. Page 19 has the details of that story in the Punch newspaper today. In Daily Trust newspaper, it said on NECO 2025 results, 60.26% get 5 credit. Kano leads. Moving on to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper now. Saudi authorities freed 3 Nigerian pilgrims arrested for drug trafficking. That is on page 15 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. All right. I am not joining ADC. Adeleke on page 24 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Despite endorsement, Tinubu must emerge at convention. Iwata says that is the APC national chairman. Two writers there says Dente's INEC's claim of early campaigns denies INEC's claim of early campaigns. It says ADC not an organized opposition. The Guardian newspaper. Dabman, a Dangote Beaker over diversion allegation, 1.5 trillion naira subsidy demands. Page 3 has details to that one. On page 7, Ondopo, Supreme Court dismisses appeal against Ayed Atiwa's victory. World Patient Safety Day. Lagos State government bemoans wastage in healthcare delivery. Moving on from there, it says NECA urges a strategic monetary policy easing as IMPI projects 17% inflation by year end. Page 3 has details to that one. The stories alongside many more are what we have to discuss this morning with Maestro in the studio. Good morning, Maestro.
Good morning.
Yes, quickly, there was an event, a fire accident that happened at Tony Elumelu, one of Tony Elumelu's branch, and there's been news all around, even statement from him as well. This one says, traders count losses as UBA FIRS month staff lost in Lagos fire. We also saw videos coming out from the incident, people jumping out of the windows in what seemed like a high-rise building. So let's pick it up from there this morning. Anything for us?
It's very sad.
It is.
We, at moments like this, our humanity should go first, go ahead of everything we do. So we, condole with the families of all those who lost their lives in that inferno. It's so tragic. We pray that God Almighty in His infinite mercies will give them comfort and grant those who departed life, so suddenly and tragically, a place in paradise. Having said that, and I have always said this because the pain runs deep each time we have a situation like this, that we are just not prepared, for these tragedies, which is a part of life. And I'm saying that instructively. You have a situation like the instance of a high-rise building, a skyscraper, and you know that there will be fire disaster. It's just a fact of life, isn't it? So you're supposed to be fully prepared for such a situation. And I have always advocated, if you have a building in that kind of space, if you have a skyscraper, you have to be fully prepared per building. Not that, you would depend on, fire service will come and save me. What about before they come? So, and we have been saying this for a long time. These people have a lot of money. I mean, what would it cost someone like that, to put together a fire service that would take care of any fire outbreak, no matter what floor, even if it's the 24th floor? What makes this one worse is that we've had instances like that around that place before.
Fire out.
Yes, more than once. On an occasion, I think I covered that one myself. Was it the BOI building? It wasn't the BOI building. It's another one in that place. I think it was Marina. I can't remember, clearly now unless I check. And that day, it took the preparation of, I think, the UBA. I think it was UBA or Union Bank that had the kind of ladder that could go to the very top. Nigerian Fire Service did not have it. Lagos Fire Service didn't have it. Nobody had it. It was, I think, either UBA or Union Bank that had the kind of ladder that could go to, so that they could fight the fire from floor to floor. I think BOI also caught fire once within that same space, and it was a hell of a fight before it could come under control. I remember NET, the building that they called NET building, which was the telephony skyscraper then. So it's happened so many times within the Lagos Island there. I mean, how many times have we talked about Balogun Market going in flames? So this loss of lives is inexcusable. It's just that the way we operate, as soon as one happens and we get through it one way or the other, what happens next is everybody goes to sleep.
We move on
till the next round, as if we are just sacrificing human lives. So I believe that, there has to be a strong legislature at this point, because you cannot leave it to the executive anymore. There should be a strong legislature. If you cannot provide that kind of service per building, per skyscraper, you should not put up any skyscraper. And if you are allowed to put it up, you should not be able to operate it until. So that kind of law must be in place at this point, because look at these lives are gone now. The lives of your tenants gone like that.
Yeah, and 4 FIRS staff.
Yes, and FIRS, they are tenants. I think they occupy the 6th and 7th floor.
Yeah, 6th and 7th.
Lives that should have been protected, just like that. And you can't lay this blame as easily as all that on government fire service. What were you thinking? What were you also doing? Now, everybody who has a skyscraper within that space must be able to provide, the what you need, what you would need to fight fire at any floor whenever it breaks out.
On any floor?
Yes.
All right, then. Just as you said, the very first thing we'll talk about on this issue is humanity. And we've done that. And also, what needs to be done for us to ensure that this doesn't happen again, particularly for people who have this kind of buildings that are operating there. All right, then. We pray for the repose of the souls that were lost. Let's move on from there. Before we left yesterday, there was a comment on our Facebook page talking about Alhaji Aliko Dangote using CNG trucks to deliver petrol. Is there anything wrong in this? There should be a question. I mean, you're delivering petrol with CNG buses.
It's a non-issue. He's a businessman. He's going to look for the most cost-effective ways of doing his business. Is there any law against using CNG in Nigeria?
No.
So I don't think we should even be entertaining all these silly little talks, because, Wura, you and I spend very little time on treating the issues, and we have so many, isn't it? We have so many issues
to talk about.
So these people, they can clown around all they want, but it doesn't really make it, we will just streamline and move on. I mean, just think about it. Somebody doing his business the best way he could, and then it gives you a problem that he's using CNG to deliver petrol. So he should be using petrol to deliver petrol. Why is he even using vehicles at all? Why is he not just using petrol to deliver it?
I saw a tricycle yesterday. I think it is the owner already did conversion, and I saw this sticker CNG. I said, I was currently in transit. I would have stopped and asked this man questions on the conversion issue and all.
At least that person is honest, isn't he?
To let you know that, okay,
the others are keeping very quiet and charging the same amount.
But is it everyone that knows? I mean, for someone that could see the sticker CNG, it was very small to be able to ask questions, because we know. What about people that do not know? I would ask questions.
Of course, even if you knew and you ask questions, do you think they are going to reduce the cost? They won't.
I was going to try that if I wasn't in transit.
Yeah, but they won't, these are our brothers and sisters.
We know what we do.
Sometimes we talk about them as if they are aliens. They are not. We know what they do. We know what they could do. because somebody was blaming leadership yesterday, and I think every time you make that the fault, that leadership is the problem, I just laugh and walk. Because those leaders went from among us. Yes, we produce the leaders we are talking about. So it's a very lazy way of approaching our problems. When somebody says, oh, it's leadership problem that we have. It's not leadership problem. The leaders went from among us. Now, leadership problem, you have to also look at it very well.
Sure.
It's not so much the leadership problem. It's the leadership processing system that we evolved. Okay? That is the problem, because somebody will not just become a leader without us processing that leader. Now, sure. the leadership processing system that we have is so awful that, somebody yesterday was saying, have you told him this and that? and I found that very clownish. That is not the way. In any case, we were talking, we were doing something universal, right?
Yes.
And then you
at the federal level
it down to, let me just say this, even this. So, you saw the picture posted by Agidigbo and Oriyomi and that,
yes,
like, the bag issue and everything.
I saw that.
So somebody said, "Oh, politics is coming. So we are going to see more of things like this," and I just laughed. People don't know Oriyomi Hamzat very well. I think a lot of people got to know about Oriyomi Hamzat when Agidigbo, came about, and they are using that knowledge to judge, whatever he does, and that's a mistake. It's a serious error. Do you know that as far back as 9-10 years ago, this guy, and it's always some kind of struggle, he's always prostrated to greet me, and I'm talking about 10 years ago. So was he contesting for anything then? And I will say, look, don't deceive me with all this, and he won't stop.
Because it's his way.
Because that's who he is. So people think, oh, it's now that he's manipulating, the current situation to look for something. He's not looking. That's how he is. It's how he's always been. He's so, as tall as he is, he's so close to the floor. I wonder sometimes how he does it. And, before you rush him, he's already on the floor. So it's not, I think people should find out, who this person was long before Agidigbo. Long before he attained the current height that is attained. And then maybe you give him some credit,
All right.
for whatever God has made him. It's not today that he's been behaving like that.
It didn't start today. Let's go pay some bills. So we'll be back in the studio.
88.7 FM.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
Babe, I am so sorry. I know I was wrong. I promise I will never do it again.
Don't let low airtime block your romance. Buy a new MTN SIM to enjoy 2,100 naira in airtime for 2 months, and with MTN Better Gist, you'll get 3 minutes extra for every 6-minute call you make. MTN Better Gist is also available to all existing customers. To join, simply dial *123*2*1# or text PG to 312. T's and C's apply. MTN, what are we doing today?
I'm in love. Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And is it to stir? Dishes come alive with so much taste. Sonia tomato mix, of course. Sonia tomato mix, yes sir.
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom.
Sit up supreme noodles.
Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom.
Sit up supreme noodles. The sit up supreme noodles, it go sparkle up your mood. So delicious, so tasty, young and old them love it. Springy, chewy with better aroma. Lovely Nia. Rich with real chicken essence. So supreme Nia.
Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom.
Sit up supreme noodles.
Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom.
Sit up supreme noodles.
Sit up Supreme Noodles with real chicken essence.
Supreme noodles boom boom.
Sit up supreme noodles.
It's time for back to school. Looking for a reliable pen? With Big Crystal Original, forget your worries. It flows smoothly over paper. No more running out of ink. Big Crystal Original is the pen that writes up to 3 kilometers for your notes, exams, and scribblings during class. Big Crystal Original, a pen you can rely on.
MTN mega billion promote balẹ̀ gùdẹ̀. Láti ọjọ́ Monday sí ọjọ́ Sátidé láago méje alẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Nàìjíríà láǹfààní láti máa jàwọn ẹ̀bùn kàǹkàkàǹkà pẹ̀lú owó tó tó mílíọ̀nù 5 náírà lójoojúmọ́ àti owó tó tó mílíọ̀nù 10 ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sátidé.
Ra owó ìpè lónìí kó sì jẹ ẹ̀bùn mílíọ̀nù rẹpẹtẹ. Àdéhùn àti àjọsọ wà ṣá o. Kàn sí www.mtn.ng fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́.
Ìpolówó yìí ń tẹ̀síwájú títí di ọjọ́ 21 oṣù kẹsàn-án.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
All right, you're welcome back. People are attesting to what you said, and we have Idris are saying Dr. Riyemi and Idobale is 5 and 6. I wonder how he does it sometimes, and he has never shown any discomfort in doing so.
Well,
I'm stating the fact here.
Well, I think we should spend a little time here, and it's not because really of soliciting anything. It's because it's good to tell the truth, especially in the face of lies. When people create images, when they create narratives that are false. So this man sought nothing in all the years that he's been just like this. It's even amazing that he's not ever really grown outside of his old self, despite all the new blessings. He has a way of being so funny. He probably will make a successful career of comedy. He is like that. So people like that don't get carried away often with what God has given to them at any point in time. So if you know the truth, I'd rather be with that than be with someone you don't know if he's been like this all his life, or it's because he wants something now that he quickly grabs agbado by the roadside,
or enter Buka,
or he enters Buka to go and now eat with people and so on. So I guess in the coming months we are going to be doing a lot of this, telling the truth about who people were in the first instance. But what we shouldn't do is to assume that it's because anybody wants something, that's why they are suddenly behaving in a particular way. This person has always been like this.
All right, then let's move on from there. Just as some people said that there is no way things like this will come out, I would have just some set of people saying or trying to discredit whatever it is that they say.
Yeah, and then we'll set the record straight and move on.
Sure. It's 7 a.m. on Agidigbo 88.7 FM.
Go get your PVC.
All right, so we have the statement of Mr. President. That's what you said. Some of us who have met him on several occasions can't even relate to that. All right, now moving on to Rivers issue. The statement by His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, on the cessation of the state of emergency. And he said that some things that are worthy of note, particularly on some people are talking about the fact that, oh, you have reached and all. We have PDP saying that. But one of the things Mr. President said, he said, from the intelligence available to me, there is a groundswell of a new spirit of understanding, a robust readiness, and potent enthusiasm on the part of all the stakeholders in Rivers State for an immediate return to democratic governance. And he also talked about the fact that it was inevitable at that point to do what he did. So he had to take the step. Also talk about some people evaluating the justification of the emergency rule and all of that. He said he did what he had to do. Also talked about the 40 cases are still in court right now, which some people are asking questions. For a whole 6 months, the judiciary didn't do anything about that. So let's pick it up from there.
Okay, from there, it's very easy to blame the judiciary, for not doing the uppermost case on your mind. Because you are in a cocoon. You fail to realize that the judiciary is doing a lot of other cases. A judge, has hundreds of cases in a courtroom. One courtroom has cases upon cases upon cases. And they can't just press pause and give you priority, because you are going to blame them for not attending to you, right? Because they don't even know you. You are not a party to the suit, one. Two, you are just on keyboard somewhere in your bedroom. Maybe, the bedroom is even justified or not. We don't know.
We have some from state governors, PDP governors.
Yes, so everybody is coming out of the woodworks, pretending that they understand the situation. Most of the time, they are very selfish. The court system is what it is in Nigeria. And so if your case gets adjourned, you could hardly complain. Because if you are going to complain sensibly, then you have to know the number of cases in that court. Then you have to know how the cases are differently adjourned. And then you now have to determine for us which cases should have been further adjourned in order to attend to your own. So it doesn't make any sense, to say the courts didn't do anything about this and that. So what we could do is to address our judicial system. Because let me tell you the truth. It could be that even the system is working in cahoots with the politicians. No, this is the truth.
Okay.
With the politicians, such that, this case, we'll just keep adjourning this one. Yeah.
It could be that.
It could be. I'm not sure. But what is certain is that the schedule, the operating system of the courts in this country is crazy. And you have tons of adjournments.
I will see that with other cases lasting years.
So it's not just, I often ask myself, all these land cases lasting 25 years, these chieftaincy tussles lasting 20 years, what's going on there? But that's it. So you cannot even be talking about that unless you can tell us authoritatively that, something, was amiss somewhere.
PDP has an issue with the last statement in that release from Mr. President. Let me read the last paragraph and then we'll go to the question asked. Mr. President says, I take this opportunity, as it is being shown on our Facebook page right now. It says, I take this opportunity to remind the governors and the houses of assembly of all states of our country to continue to appreciate that it is only in an atmosphere of peace, order, and good government that we can deliver the dividends of democracy to our people. I implore you all to let this realization drive your actions at all times. And now, the question coming from there, particularly from the Deputy National Youth Leader of PDP, Timothy Osadolo, was speaking yesterday. The question is, I think the president was overreaching. When I read the last paragraph of his speech, where he spoke to governors as if he were a headmaster in a classroom, I felt he should understand fully well that there is a clear division of power.
No, I think whoever his name is, I think he's the one who's overreaching. And I don't think it's making any sense. This is just a statement. Presidents urge governors all the time. It doesn't mean that the governors will take to whatever he says or that they won't. You understand? So I think it's a bit, idle to go and be picking the president's admonitions. Those were admonitions. It wasn't an order to the governors. Nothing was compelling there. He simply says, okay, this is what I think you guys should do in order for good governance to be able to flow better in your different states. Because, he was moving from the position of one governor, as point of contact to the rest. So I think that's even a waste of time, honestly.
Another thing they said is the fact that Mr. President did what he did before sending messages to the National Assembly, who allegedly were induced financially. That was what he said. He said for him, we must encourage stronger institutions and more respect for the constitution of the land.
I think he's also being loud, unnecessarily. The reason is, if they call you now to come and prove that somebody was financially induced, you won't be able to prove it. And before it gets to a point, somebody will say, oh, there are, free press, free speech is being impeded. They are being high-handed and so on. But when people talk irresponsibly, you expect consequences. But I don't think this one, will require any kind of action. They'll just ignore him. I think they should.
How about the question of Mr. President did what he did before going to National Assembly?
There are a lot of things that you could raise, a lot of points that you could raise about the state of emergency proclamation. And we did a lot of that, pros and cons. And
when it happened.
And it's always going to be going on. Some people are going to agree, some people will disagree. But if I want to have a decent conversation, I'm not going to look for, an opposition figure. The reason is that if that opposition figure were on that side, it will be right. The proclamation will be right. If that opposition figure is on this other side, it will always be wrong. That's why you cannot fly by politicians. You can't travel with them so much, because you will not be able to make any sense, because their sense shifts from time to time depending on where they are. So if their position is they are on the side of the ruling government, then whatever happens there is always right. If they are on this other side, whatever happens is always wrong. So, but you can have that conversation with people who are not who are not given to partisanship, so that you can have a decent conversation about what's wrong and right concerning that proclamation.
All right, now we're back to calling the governor of Rivers, Governor Siminalayi Fubara.
I told you he was always governor. Nothing ever removed him from being governor.
He was just suspended and not in office.
I don't know if he was even suspended as governor.
Okay.
You see, you cannot do that. All you could do is declare a state of emergency and then follow laid down procedures for state of emergency, which included that it should be away from that
office.
While a sole administrator takes over for that period. So his governorship continues. That's why he's lost. He's lost that the 6 months. It's not going to be counted when that term expires, because that governorship continues. The term continues. You see, and it's kind of punitive. But if it were suspension, then wouldn't everything have been suspended, including the time? So when he returns, he will continue to serve the 6 months, and so on and so forth. So I believe that his governorship was running, but according to the rules, concerning declaration of state of emergency.
We have FCT Minister sending kudos to Mr. President for ending this now and also for doing the right thing at the right time.
It's just two friends greeting one another. You always do that because they are together. That's all.
But now people are bringing the issue of Natasha into this. Let me tell you how. By this comment from Mustafa Abdulatif saying, "On Fubara, I think if Natasha could not return to the Senate on the grounds that our case is still in court, what about Fubara with dozens of cases still pending in court?"
It's different. It's different.
Oh,
you see, they have, this is the legislature, not the executive.
Okay.
So, and they have different ways of behaving, and they have different rules. So you have your house sanctioned you, and you said, I don't agree with whatever you are saying I did, so I'm taking the case to the court where I will get a reprieve.
By herself. She did that herself.
It's not the same thing with someone who was taken out of office by declaration of state of emergency. These are two different things. So we can't go and pick what looks alike, just one item that looks alike among many other items, and say, okay, it's the same scenario. It's not the same scenario. What I believe she should have done is to withdraw all the cases she took to court. Withdraw all those cases and return to your seat in the Senate, because time is even running out. And these people, they will make sure they waste her time. Maybe she won't even return to that place till the end of her tenure.
We have Chief Okoro on that saying that Fubara dropped the dead fight and he's walking back into office tomorrow. I think the comment was from yesterday. He said Natasha kept listening to jobless advisors with nothing to lose.
No, Natasha herself is playing her own game. It's not the same thing. She's enjoying herself, as many times as she could bring herself to our consciousness, dancing on that stage. Because she's looking for something else. It's not the Senate that she's looking for. I think she has, a big dream. She wants to be governor of her state, and she wants to go about it in her own way, bring herself to. So this is the way I see it. She's campaigning for that office, in highly unorthodox ways, and so she's having the time of her life.
All right, then. Let's move on from there. And now, from today, we look forward to what is going to happen in River State, and mostly to the people saying that Fubara will now have 0 powers as a governor of the state.
No, it's not true. To chart their course into the future and be able to respond correctly, to issues. So I hope they will do it properly. It's not going to be the business of our gurus in that field to begin to develop the proper history that we should, because we have a lot of what we call history written for us by the British. The British colonialists, they also had an education system which is meant to just keep us where we are, to key into their schemes. I mean, when they begin to give us Richard Lander as history, Mungo Park as history, and all these guys just come and discover places
that were already there,
where our forebears have been living for thousands of years. So they come and say they discovered for their own people, not for our own consumption. So that discovery now is poorly. How definitive is that? For his people, yes, they discovered something. For us here, he didn't discover anything. He just came to visit this place
and he saw it.
So and it's much more than that. The people who tell stories, they have a huge leverage on how a society runs.
Maestro, on that, because I have a question. Because now when we talk about history, we have people saying, no, it was like this. No, it wasn't like this. Let's take, for example, the ancestral issue or your Ife and all of that, the empire and all of that. But let's go pay some bills. Okay. So we're back in the studio, see how to guide our students on the right path of history. And now that we have so many things going on, we'll be back.
88.7 FM.
Màámi, tẹ́ ẹ bá rí bí mo ṣe fọ ilé ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ yẹn, ẹ wò ó mọ́ gidi gan ni.
Ó lè mọ́ lójú lóòótọ́, ṣùgbọ́n lílo hypo toilet cleaner túbọ̀ máa pa àwọn kòkòrò àìfojúrí tó wà níbẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o, má gbà fáwọn kòkòrò àìfojúrí, dáàbò bo ilé ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ rẹ lójoojúmọ́ pẹ̀lú hypo toilet cleaner.
Start your day and have a good time.
Kivo Creamer.
Where you need to have the break time.
Kivo Creamer.
Nati Papagarita.
Kivo Creamer. Kivo Creamer.
Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom.
Sit up Supreme noodles.
Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom.
Sit up Supreme noodles. Just sit up Supreme noodles. It go sparkle up your mood. So delicious, so tasty. Young and old, them love it. Spring it chewy with better aroma. Lovely Mia. Rich with real chicken essence. So supreme.
Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom.
Sit up Supreme noodles.
Supreme noodles boom boom, supreme noodles boom boom.
Sit up Supreme noodles.
Sit up Supreme noodles with real chicken essence.
Supreme noodles boom boom.
Sit up Supreme noodles.
MTN mega billion promo ti balẹ̀ gùdẹ̀. Láti ọjọ́ Monday sí ọjọ́ Sátidé láago méje alẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Nàìjíríà láǹfààní láti máa ja àwọn ẹ̀bùn kàǹkàkàǹkà pẹ̀lú owó tó tó mílíọ̀nù 5 náírà lójoojúmọ́ àti owó tó tó mílíọ̀nù 10 ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sátidé.
Ra owó ìpè lónìí kó sì jẹ ẹ̀bùn mílíọ̀nù rẹpẹtẹ. Àdéhùn àti àjọsọ wà ṣá o. Kàn sí www.mtn.ng fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́.
Ìpolówó yìí ń tẹ̀síwájú títí di ọjọ́ 21 oṣù kẹsàn-án.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
Babe, I am so sorry. I know I was wrong. I promise I will never do it again.
Don't let low airtime block your romance. Buy a new MTN SIM to enjoy 2,100 naira in airtime for 2 months, and with MTN Better Gist, you'll get 3 minutes extra for every 6-minute call you make. MTN Better Gist is also available to all existing customers. To join, simply dial *123*2*1# or text PG to 312. T's and C's apply. MTN, what are we doing today?
Ṣadé kù sí ọkọ mi. Mo bí yàrá ìgbàlejò mi àti yàrá ìdáná mi ṣe mọ́ tí wọ́n dàbí titun.
Màámi.
Ṣùgbọ́n dúró náà, ó ṣe fi hypo nu ilẹ̀ àti tábìlì pẹ̀lú àwọn ibi tá a ti ń dáná yìí.
Hypo kẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, àwọn kòkòrò àìfojúrí kì í gbà lẹ́rọ̀. Torí náà làwa náà ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ máa pèsè ààbò lójoojúmọ́ pẹ̀lú hypo.
Má gbà fáwọn kòkòrò àìfojúrí, dáàbò bo ilé rẹ pẹ̀lú hypo.
Gbogbo Ìbàdàn a máa kú oríire. Àkànmú Adéwọ̀lú ọmọ Ọládọjà ń bàdàn yóò tẹrí gbadé Olúbàdàn lẹ̀ Ìbàdàn lọ́jọ́ 26 oṣù tá a wà nú ẹ̀ yìí.
Gbogbo Ìbàdàn lẹ́dúgbà òkúlẹ̀ bàbá wa.
Ṣùgbọ́n kádéwọ̀lú ó tó gbadé Olúbàdàn lọ́jọ́ 26 ilá ti ṣe àjọ̀dún ọjọ́ bí Olúbàdàn wa o lọ́jọ́ 25 nílẹ̀ Ìbàdàn. Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Ìbàdàn ta nífẹ̀ẹ́ Olúbàdàn lẹ̀ Ìbàdàn látúyáyátúyàyà jáde lọ́jọ́ 25 oṣù tá a wà nú àyè láti ṣàjọyọ̀ ọjọ́ bí Olúbàdàn wa Àkànmú Adéwọ̀lú ọmọ Ọládọjà. Aago 8 àárọ̀ ni gbogbo wa ó pè sílé bàbá wa Ondo Street ní Bódìjà ń bàdàn. Bàbá tí ń kúrò ńbẹ̀ á máa rìn lọ́wọ̀ọ̀wọ́ gba secretariat secretariat kọjá láti secretariat á bọ́ sí géètì láti géètì òjé lágbàdé bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbẹ̀rẹ̀ lágbàdé mọ̀ pé ó di gẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́jà àbá ìdí arẹrẹ lọ́kàn àti ìdí arẹrẹ láti dé bodè lágbàdé mọ̀lété lágbàdókè àdó òkè àdó lágbàdé fọ̀kọ̀ bàbá tí ń kúrò ń fọ̀kọ̀ ó di bọ́n fọ́tò nìyẹn o á mọ̀ tò lọ́wọ̀ọ̀wọ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn onífújì tí wọ́n jẹ́ ọmọ bíbí ilẹ̀ Ìbàdàn bákan náà láàmú rí eégún lóríṣiríṣi àwọn eégún onídán àwọn eégún aláré tí wọ́n jẹ́ tilẹ̀ Ìbàdàn nájọ mọ́ rìnrìn ọ̀hún ọjọ́ náà ó mọ̀ dùn yàtọ̀ o ẹ̀yin ọmọ Ìbàdàn tẹ́ ń bẹ ńlé àtẹ̀yìn tẹ́ wà lókè òkun bẹ́ẹ̀ lè wà ń bẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wa ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lójú ìkànnì Àgídìgbò gbogbo tó bá ń lọ lẹ́ẹ̀ máa wò live and direct lórí rédíò Àgídìgbò àti tẹlifíṣàn wa tá a bá ti ń kú òun bọ́n fọ́tò ó doríta mẹ́rin lágbàdé nálẹ́ndé àti nálẹ́ndé láti bọ́ sòópó ó di wọ̀ ní Mọ́kọ́lá láti Mọ́kọ́lá láti gúnlẹ̀ sí Adámọ̀sìngbà stadium ládojúkọ recreation club Mọ́kọ́lá ńbàdàn níbi tá a ti dá fàájì dọ̀bálẹ̀ á gé àkàrà òyìnbó ọjọ́ bíi Olúbàdàn lẹ̀ Ìbàdàn nílé wọn tó wà ní Ondo street ká tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìrìn náà láago 8 ọjọ́ àlàmísì ọjọ́ ọ̀gbadé kọ̀la ìyẹn la fi ṣe fàájì ẹ wá gbọ́ o gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Ìbàdàn nílé lóko lájò lẹ́yìn odi ẹjẹ́ àjọ ẹjẹ́ àjọ dáṣọ yìí aṣọ ẹ̀yẹ bóra wá látàrí ọba Rashidi Adéwọ̀lú Ládọjà musical and cultural birthday train around Ibadan city ẹ kàn sí wa láti so nígbọ̀wọ́ ẹ pè Zakari Olawa sórí nọ́mbà yìí 08034474575 08034474575 coronation fún Olúbàdàn ilẹ̀ Ìbàdàn ọba Rashidi Adéwọ̀lú Ládọjà òkè Ìbàdàn àtàgé ọlọ́mú òrù yóò gbé gbogbo wa o. ẹ má fi Ìbàdàn ṣeré o mi ò ní fi Ìbàdàn ṣeré o ẹgbẹ́ tó fi Ìbàdàn ṣeré ìyẹn wáyà.
Àgídìgbò 88.7 FM.
All right, the statement from the Federal Ministry of Education on this issue said for the first time in decades, Nigerian pupils will study history continuously from primary 1 to JSS 3, while SS 1 to 3 students will take the new civic and heritage studies, integrating history with civic education. Also for primary 1 to 6 pupils, where they will learn about Nigeria's origins, heroes, rulers, culture, politics, economy, religions, colonial rule, and post-independence governance. And so you to continue from there for the GSS students as well. But Maestro, now back to the question I asked before we left.
Okay. So most of the people who are telling these stories, they are telling stories. They are not, telling history.
Oh, there's a difference.
Yeah, a huge difference. That's why a phobia say ti ọmọdé bá fẹ́ jogún kógún ìtàn kìtàn ni ọmọ pa. So ìtàn, that's story.
Okay.
It's not the study of history. History is a discipline. It's very massive. It requires you going to school. You understand? It requires you going to school to go and learn. It requires a lot of you see, lazy people or people who miss their chances, they think education is a scam. So they think they can just come from anywhere, get on the social media and begin to tell stories, most of them are very loud, attaching intelligence and noise, together as if they relate. No, you don't make more sense the noisier you become. That's not true. It's not valid. So if you did not go to school to read history, you can only tell stories maybe within your palace or within your community, within your household, and so on and so forth. You can tell those stories there. If you come online and you begin to tell those stories, people like us are going to go and check your pedigree. We'll go and look if you're
qualified enough.
If you are some kind of Akinjogbin, Idowu. We will look at where you're, and if we find that you didn't even go to any school at all, we will move on. At very best, you are just a research material. So we can just capture what you're saying and then go and treat it. It's not like it's valid. So when you now sit down and begin to tell the story of how your empire evolved or how Ife came about, and we go and check and you did not go to school or you do not belong to that discipline so as to be authoritative on it. So who is going to listen to you? Not people like me now. But I'm sure you will find people around you who will listen to you or who will be gullible enough to believe that you're telling the truth. You see, the point is, that our forefathers said, it's not about age alone. If you did not dedicate yourself to the pursuit, the academic, pursuit of history, and if you did not especially, pick a topic and work exhaustively on it, you cannot come and be talking authoritatively about it. So that takes away all this nonsense that people are saying about, Ife is this and that, Oyo is this and that. So they are not talking to people like us. That's number one. Number two, one Oba to the other, from another Oba to the other, you are going to find them stating beautiful history, favorable history of their own thrones and kingdoms.
Sure.
That's all. No Oba is going to say, I'm inferior to that one, or that one is higher in hierarchy than us. People are always going to tell you stories how they were the leaders and on top of the chain and everything. So that's about Oba. So it makes it not valid. I've listened to an Oba before equating the Ugbo and Igbo, and they are not the same. I even would know that very easily. But on account of history, it's not the same thing. So we have to just leave people alone and concentrate on those who actually went to study history. When they are talking, we'll listen to them.
So you think we can handle that well in our curriculum now without, let me say, misleading the young ones?
You see, some of these things have to be left alone. You are going to have to leave them out because it's not everything that you can even, some studies are ongoing. When you want to pinpoint the beginning of Ikenga in Igbo history, for instance, how far back is it going to take you? Has the investigation ended? Sometimes you are going to be depending heavily on archaeology, which those people don't even understand what is in archaeology. So they don't care about knowledge so much. And so these are the things. Some of these things are still ongoing. Yesterday, I'm sure it's an old edition of history on DSTV. I dwell on the History Channel a lot. And they were showing the gospel according to Judas. The gospel according to Judas has a slightly different, presentation to offer us. And it came from scrolls, relatively recently, relatively freshly discovered around Egypt. So you can't be talking about, history as if, as a matter of fact, you can't be talking about anything. If the first thing you have to do is go to school. If you didn't go to school, go and sit down.
All right, quickly before we open the phone lines, they also said that Mandarin is now to be offered in Nigerian senior secondary schools, boosting cultural exchange and educational opportunities with China. And yes, before that came out, before this Nigerian history, and people are saying, have we even learned our own history perfectly? And also, even the French that was infused into the curriculum, are we? How far are we going on that?
No, it's a non-issue again. That you put Mandarin in the curriculum. You know, people will treat it as they treat French, as they treat English. Maybe English language has a pride of place, and some other languages that people are learning currently. But I think it's not a bad idea if you are applying Mandarin at this point.
Okay.
Maybe even Hindu. You see, the thing is, these are very large populations, and they, China's economic promises is even in fulfillment as we speak. India, might come on strong somewhere in the future. So it's not a bad idea. I think it's strategic.
Coming from the federal government.
Even if they are the ones pressing the federal government to put it there. Because China is a highly strategic country, and they are extremely visionary. They are looking ahead seriously. So, it benefits us in terms of strategy. But I think China is scheming much more than any other thing.
All right, so let's hear from our people. 0704 1001 887 or +234 704 7008873. For those in diaspora, +4474 05697158. But before then, let's listen to this.
Thank you for your attention. It's been lovely to have you keeping it locked on Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Now, it's the time to join in the conversation, to have the world hear your voice, because we are the people's voice. Meanwhile, while you contribute to this program, kindly note that in accordance with broadcasting ethics, you are requested to keep your contributions modest, truthful, concise, and not offensive, inflammatory, or with tendencies to cause discomfort to anyone. Thank you. Now, let the conversation begin.
07041001 or +234 704 7008873. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Steve Abe, grateful for Monitor.
Good morning, Reverend.
Well, we commiserate with the families of the people that died in that fire incident. I think there should be a legislation that will liberalize fire sector so that they can have private fire companies that will complement government fire companies. That's my own view. On the issue of history, it's a welcome development. It's a very, very cheering news that history is coming back. Which nation that wants to develop will forget its history? I've not seen such nation. It's a way forward, having history back. On the issue of Dangote versus the Kaaba.
We didn't talk about that this morning, Reverend.
I think you mentioned Dangote, whatever, the oil issue. Yes. You talk about it briefly.
We did it.
I think those people should stop behaving as if they are policemen of our economy, of the oil sector.
Thank you.
We have a laissez-faire economy. Everybody is going to do his business the way he likes. Dangote is doing his business the way he likes. They should also look for a way of doing their business the way they like.
All right, sir. Dejo Yelakin says, I would suggest that landlords should install fire hydrants in all shops, offices, warehouses, and homes. And fire service should check the equipment regularly to be sure they are active. Is that not what it is?
No, that obtains already. You see, what the problem around the island is, you have a lot of skyscrapers, and they are seriously vulnerable to fire outbreaks. When those things happen, maybe it's on the top floor, and I'm not sure we still have the kind of ladder that could go to the very top. These electronic ladders that could. I mean, okay, if you have a 10-story building, don't you think about fire outbreak on the 10th floor?
What emergencies? What are emergencies?
So when your ladder could only get to the fifth floor, so how do you expect to cope with that situation? Bring it under control. So that's what we are saying here. I don't agree that liberalizing it's individual skyscrapers must be fully prepared.
Those who own it.
Yes.
Hello. Hello, good morning. Remy Adebola says, my heart goes out in sympathy for the victims of the fire disaster in Lagos. This is what the law of thought calls a duty of care. Many property owners do not think much of this, and it is painful. All right. 07041001887. Omade Adekunle says, politically, it is obvious that the returning of Fubara as River State governor has been caged. Hello. Good morning, say anyone where you're calling from. Hello. The network is really bad from your end. Okalawo Jebola says, when the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum went to River State to celebrate the swearing of the chairman from the opposition party and cashing out of River State, they were feeling good. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, say anyone where you're calling from.
My name is Richard Akinyemi. I'm calling from Iwo Road.
All right, sir, your contribution.
I'm a first-time caller, too.
You're welcome, sir. We sincerely appreciate you calling in.
Thank you. I just want to appreciate you, your team. Since I've been listening, you guys are deep. You see, concerning, I heard the last caller, not the last caller that was aborted now. The guy that was saying there should be private fire services, fighting services. No, it's not like that. Lagos, I don't even know where to start. Nigeria is an imbroglio, a phenomenon that from the foundation is bad. You're talking about the skyscrapers in Lagos Island. There are no spaces. You can see it's so much. I'm just enjoying you. Keep on. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Oluwale Daniel says, on Monday this week in Lagos, I ordered a ride and noticed a CNG cylinder in the trunk while loading my luggage. I joked with the driver that my fare should be cheaper since he uses CNG. He smiled and said, I spent 1 million naira converting it. I need to recover my money. I asked if he would reduce fares after breaking even, but he just kept smiling. Like Maestro says, we are Nigerians, we always find our own way. He also addressed the fear and CNG saying it pays off well, but the key is ensuring the conversion is done only at accredited outlets.
Did Marwa in the CNG conversion of Marwa for 1 million naira? Akika.
All right, is that in Lagos? I'm thinking that's a private.
Anywhere, you should not just.
All right.
1 million.
Okay, 07041001887. Hello.
Good morning, Madam.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Tolu. Incidentally, I'm calling from Nigeria today.
All right,
Good
sir.
morning, Maestro.
Good morning.
Okay, I want to quickly talk about CNG. I spoke to a guy who from
the network from your end is really breaking. Please, maybe I'll try and find somewhere else to be and call us back. Sanusi Toyib says, to foster unity and cohesion, school history in Nigeria curricula should prioritize accurate evidence-based content that avoids fabrication. It should be inclusive, reflecting diverse perspectives. And he said, this is quite a lengthy one on how they should go about. He said, the content of the what we teach now is an eyesore. I know this. That's what he said. Adele was saying, history has significant facts. 07041001887. Imafo J. Peter says, at last, Fubara returned back to office after 6 months suspension. Congratulations to him. You're a good man. He has accepted weakest terms and conditions to govern Rivers. All right, then. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Madam.
Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Tolu. I'm the one that's been trying to call you on the local line. Is dropping.
Oh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Maestro.
Good morning.
All right.
You can see the atrocities, how dark and devilish those things. You can see the atrocities, how dark and devilish those things were. But when you touch those things, you are touching history. Even the colonial government had an agreement with, some authorities, some local authorities that, okay, we are going to destroy these things, we are going to take this one out, and so on.
Hmm.
So that's what people do with history.
Idris Adisa says some people are jack of all trades, master of none. History is a course like biology or economics in the university. There are mechanisms studied to determine history, and that is the difference between a storyteller and a historian. Go to the library and find out a voluminous book evidence of what history is all about. Olowokere Thompson says, Maestro, the building certification unit of any state in Nigeria is guilty of fire equipment at every floor of skyscraper, a building across the country. The unit is not visiting those buildings after completion before the owners put such building to use.
You're saying something else entirely. I know that there is a measure of what you should do as, even tenants or owners. But we're talking about specifically skyscrapers. Nothing compels you to have fire engines, but you should. Nothing compels you to have the kind of ladder that could go to an escalator that could go to the very top, but you should. I mean, if you have enough money to put a 10-story building, 12, 16-story building together, how much would it cost you to have a fire unit that could, have this escalator that we're talking about, and the fire engines, small fire engines that quickly get there and take the fire out before it wrecks the whole building?
Oluwafemi Adekule says installations of CNG is free for commercial vehicles, but you need to be associated with a road transport group like NURTW and all of that. So let's go pay some bills now. We'll be back in the studio, and I know Maestro wants to make a comment on the revenue allocation for last month. How much was shared between the we'll be back.
88.7 FM.
Òórùn dídùn tó peléke, kí ló ń ṣe ọ̀rẹ́ mi?
Èyí ni àṣírí bí mo ṣe ń ṣe àdídùn oúnjẹ fún mọ̀lẹ́bí mi. Sedap Supreme Noodles ni o.
Ìtọ́wò yìí yanrantí, kí ló wà nú ẹ̀?
Àdìtọ́.
Kibo Crema. Kibo Crema. To do big things, small you go start. Hey, I'm Jem.
Get the M-Copper X Series, M Series and Samsung phones for any of our M-Copper shop where they near you. You fit still locate any of our sales agents for your hood or WhatsApp us on 0904 997 2275. M-Copper. Own now. Pay small.
Ìgbádùn dé o. MTN ó yàtọ̀ ni wọ́n ń pè é. Tí o bá ra káàdì 400 naira, wà á jẹ ìgbádùn ìpè fún ìṣẹ́jú méje pẹ̀lú data 600 MB lórí káàdì 800 naira. Ó jẹ àǹfààní ìpè ìṣẹ́jú mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dógún pẹ̀lú data gigabaiti méjì.
Jayé ọlọ́ba lórí MTN ó yàtọ̀. Jẹ ìgbádùn ìpè ìṣẹ́jú méje àti data orí 600 MB pẹ̀lú ọgọ́rùn-ún mẹ́rin náírà fún ọjọ́ méjì. O sì lè jẹ àǹfààní ìpè ìṣẹ́jú mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dógún pẹ̀lú data gigabaiti méjì fún ọjọ́ mẹ́ta gbáko lórí 800 naira. Tẹ 31214# láti bọ́ sórí MTN ó yàtọ̀.
Ọ̀rọ̀ wa tí mo fẹ́ sọ fẹ́yìn tèmi. Bí Bísọ́lá ṣe wá mi wá sílé bí ọ̀sẹ̀ díẹ̀ sẹ́yìn rèé o. Tó sì ra àwọn oúnjẹ wá fún mi. Bá a ṣe ń tú àwọn ẹrù yẹn ló bá fa àwọn ohun mímu John Vent 3-in-1 chocolate jáde. Ó ládùn, ó kì í pọ́n. Èròjà aṣaralóore kúnnú ẹ̀. Lẹ́yìn ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì, èmi ni mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pe aago ẹ̀ o láti béèrè ibi tó ti rà á. Torí mo nílò àti rà á kó pọ̀ fún ẹbí mi.
Tó o bá ti tún adùn aṣaralóore yìí wò lẹ́ẹ̀kan, kò sí àní-àní mọ́ o. John Vent 3-in-1 chocolate. Jẹ̀gbádùn adùn aṣaralóore.
Supreme noodles boom boom, Supreme noodles boom boom.
Sedap Supreme Noodles.
Supreme noodles boom boom, Supreme noodles boom boom.
Sedap Supreme Noodles. The Sedap Supreme Noodles, it go sparkle up your mood. So delicious, so tasty, young and old them love it. Spring it chewy with better aroma. Lovely Nia. Rich with real chicken essence. So supreme Nia.
Supreme noodles boom boom, Supreme noodles boom boom.
Sedap Supreme Noodles.
Supreme noodles boom boom, Supreme noodles boom boom.
Sedap Supreme Noodles.
Sedap Supreme Noodles with real chicken essence.
Supreme noodles boom boom.
Sedap Supreme Noodles.
I'm in love. Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And easy to stop. Dishes come alive with so much taste. Sonia tomato mix, of course. Sonia tomato mix, yes sir. Sonia tomato mix, stand up pouch.
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
All right, Shitu Adio says the real culprit of the fire disaster in that place is the management of the tower. The building should have a clear exit plan from the building in less than 5 minutes. Firefighting is different from escape in case of emergency by personnel.
Yeah, you could say that, but you don't know, you never can tell how, a fire disaster comes, from which direction it's going to come. You can't tell what you will be doing when it comes. So escape might be, quite clear. I do not imagine a skyscraper without an escape. It wouldn't be approved. So, but you see, consider someone at the remotest end of a floor when these things happen. And the moment you have the kind of smoke, that comes with these infernos, that's the end. People are not going to be able to even find their way to that exit you are talking about because, one draw of that smoke into your lungs will take care of everything, and you can't see you can't see your way through. So I don't believe that providing that escape duct is the problem here. Like external help getting to you in record time. That's what I think we should lay emphasis on this morning.
All right, quickly before we leave. The Federation Account Allocation Committee yesterday said the federal government, states, and local government councils shared a total of 2.225 trillion naira as August 2025 revenue, representing an increase of 224.118 billion naira, or let's say 11.2%, compared to what was distributed for July. And this marked the third consecutive month of growth in revenue shared increase. Now,
so apart from revenue, allocation increasing steadily, I just want you to go and check what kind of, sharing, what was the volume they were sharing during the Buhari administration. No, and this is instructive. I'm not saying that to simply
compared to now.
Yes, but a lot of other comparisons must also come in, like what was the dollar saying then, and so on and so forth. Those things are very important. But you see, at the end of the day, you're getting a lot more to the state governments, and it's even a lot more because they are not yielding on the allocation to local governments. They are still in charge of that. So at this point, I think a serious focus should be going to the states.
They should be asking questions.
What are you doing, with money right now? And are you still borrowing heavily? Why is that happening? There might be an explanation for it, but laying all your concentration on the federal government while all these huge sums are going to the state governments, I congratulate you.
And let's see if we can take one more call just before we leave this morning. 0704 1001 887 or +234 704 700 8873. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Gbalagade Amzat, calling from Ebenezer along Galakia Several Road.
Your contribution quickly, sir.
Yeah, okay. Let me first of all say thanks and kudos to my.
Thank you. Your contribution, sir.
All his predictions on the River State did just come true. But one thing I don't subscribe to is that for a good 6 months, the judiciary